So the question becomes, how do they do that with a first-time starter in the Super Bowl?
Don't get into that.
Excited to be with you and talk Super Bowl all morning long. In the meantime, we're going to go back to Vegas and check in on those aforementioned Chiefs with Jeff Darlington.
Coach Herm Edwards. Okay, so we've talked a lot about Joe Thuney being out, considering he did miss the last game and now he's going to miss this one. And look, the Kansas City Chiefs found a way to win without him, but is there an impact of him not playing now in the Super Bowl?
Well, this offensive line has struggled all year now. Thuney.
Line. Good news, I suppose, is that yet again, Joe Allegretti is going to fill in on that O-line, something he's been comfortable with, not only in Thuney's position, but across the entire line. So we'll see what happens. Coach, we'll talk to you a little bit later on. In the meantime, we go over to Hannah and go to the associate.
We've been out all morning long. What a great scene. And that is, of course, where we find Jay Billis as Kansas lost on the road at K-State overtime on Monday, Jay. So what's the key matchup today?
I think the key, Hannah,
away from Kansas City. So I am going to ask you now the most important question of the day. Who is your pick for the Super Bowl tomorrow?
you're going to have to help me out, Hannah.
And let's stick with our Super Bowl coverage now as we say hello to our football analyst, Sam Acho. And look, the Chiefs, Sam, are trying to become the first repeat champion in the Super Bowl in 2 decades. And in order to do that, they're going to have to overcome some 49ers obstacles. Who needs to be an X factor on this Kansas City team in order to come away with the W tomorrow?
Isaiah Pacheco has to be an X factor. And it's not just him.
Pacheco has found his way on, it doesn't matter if it's on the injury report or wherever it is, he still is dominant in every postseason game thus far, and I would expect him to be tomorrow as well. Let's go to the Niners side of things. You've got to imagine, Sam, they're going to kind of have revenge on the mind, considering that they lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl just a couple of years ago. And so same question now on the Niners side of things. Who needs to be the X factor for them?
A man who was a rookie in that game.
You hyped for the Super Bowl. Our quarterback, Tim Hasselbeck, is with us on SportsCenter. And let's talk those QBs. We have a guy, Tim, looking to become one of the all-time greats tomorrow, if he isn't already, and then a guy looking to shed that irrelevant label. So let's start with Mahomes. So much experience, 4th Super Bowl in 5 years. How do you expect that to manifest itself tomorrow night?
Well, I think one way that
and it's probably their best Super Bowl defense, to be sure, and they've looked better than the Niners have in the playoffs up to this point. Tim, love talking football with you.
Hello to our ESPN bet analyst, Tyler Fulgham now. This is a Big 12 guy. Went to Missouri. It might pain him to answer this next question, but he's going to be all right. How are you betting this game between Baylor and Kansas?
Yeah, Shae, I may not like the Jayhawks, but I do like making money. And I got to admit, this is a great spot for the Jayhawks.
Here's a fun fact. Baylor is 1-25 all time on the road against top 5 teams. Ooh. Okay, so
that's a good nugget, Shae.
I'll remind you later. You can keep that for the rest of the day. It is, though, Super Bowl Eve, so of course we got to go to the Super Bowl now. What's your best bet for this one?
It's a very similar bet. I think the Kansas City Chiefs, due to Patrick Mahomes and
might be a little bit of Super Bowl jitters. Can you blame the guy?
I'd not blame him at all.
Right, exactly. Tyler, thank you so much. Hannah, over to you.
Shae, here's